Google just made it an official day for Wear OS 7, Android 17, and more, as there's actually a lot more than we expected. The iPhone 18 Pro just got a fresh batch of leaks, and yeah, there's some good news and some news that should have you paying attention. And yes, Samsung's foldable lineup is getting clearer by the day, and the naming situation just got a whole lot more interesting if you see the specs. I'm Jaime Rivera, and it's time for these 7 topics that I've figured out a way to condense into 3. This is Tech Briefing, powered by MediaTek. The official news today start with Google, as the company has just dropped both Wear OS 7, Android 17, a Pixel drop, and yeah, there's a lot to cover here, so let's get into it. Starting with Wear OS 7, which is rolling out to eligible Pixel devices today. The headline feature is Live Updates, which puts Android Live Updates directly on your wrist. So think real-time food delivery tracking, sports scores, or workout progress without having to pull out your phone. Beyond that, Wear OS 7 is built to work better with connected devices, including earbuds, and what Google is calling intelligent eyewear launching this fall. If you take a photo with your audio glasses, for example, you can review it instantly on your watch. I got to see that at Google I/O. It's pretty cool. There's also a media output switcher that lets you control and switch audio across headphones, home speakers, and more right from your wrist. And yeah, battery life gets a bump to up to 10% improvement for users upgrading from Wear OS 6. That said, it doesn't seem to be fully baked. Gemini Intelligence features are coming to select devices later this year, including the Create My Widget tool that lets you build custom watch dashboards using natural language. Also, the multi-step app automation that can handle things like reserving a spin class, bike, or ordering your usual from a restaurant also seems to be set for later. Now, speaking of Android, version 17 is also officially here, rolling out to eligible Pixel devices first, and I'm sure, Galaxies and others will follow next. Think of it as the launch of what Google teased at the Android show last month, most of it at least. The feature I'm mostly excited about is screen reactions, which pretty much lets you record yourself reacting to whatever is on your screen simultaneously. No green screen, no app switching, and then we have Bubbles, which lets you turn any application into floating windows that sit on top of whatever you're doing. Just long press any app icon and it becomes a bubble you can resize, minimize, or maximize. It's something I know we've seen from Samsung and Oppo and others, but native support is always welcomed. There are also foldable gaming improvements with an optimized 50/50 layout that splits the game view and a dynamic gamepad across the screen, which, yeah, sounds pretty smart. Oh, and on the security side, you can now grant applications temporary location access, share only specific contacts instead of your whole address book, and the Find Hub now lets you look at a lost phone with your biometrics so a thief can't turn off tracking, even if they have your passcode. Under the hood, Android 17 includes app memory limits to keep RAM usage in check and improve overall battery life. Obviously, yes, there are things that are still pending, but overall, I'd like to know what you like out of this update most in the comments. Now let's switch to Apple, as the rumors on the iPhone 18 Pro just got a couple of updates worth talking about. First, the good stuff. Mark Gurman is reporting that Apple developed significantly more for iOS 27 than it actually showed at WWDC, and one of the things being held back is a redesigned camera application. According to Gurman, the new application would feature a widget-style interface where you can add or remove controls like flash, timer, exposure, night mode, and resolution settings, making it far more flexible than what we currently have today, and pretty much behaving like a camera with different option buttons. The report claims that the feature already exists in internal employee builds, and Apple may be deliberately saving it as a headline feature for the iPhone 18 Pro launch. I mean, yes, we do have Final Cut camera now for the Pros, but the idea of blending it all into a more modular camera makes a lot more sense to me. Now, as for what the Pro iPhone would look like, fresh dummy unit leaks are showing 4 color options: dark cherry, light blue, black, which some have called dark gray, and silver, pretty much like previous leaks. Now, beyond the colors, the design closely resembles the iPhone 17 Pro, with no dramatic changes to the overall shape of the camera layout, even if other sources claim that the plateau is getting bigger to accommodate a potential variable aperture. Most of the other major upgrades are expected under the hood: A20 Pro on 2 nanometers, a possible dynamic island tweak to make the cutout visibly slightly smaller. That said, for any of you expecting a new finish in the aluminum, it seems that won't change. And listen, I can understand why. After months of using the iPhone 17 Pro Max, I can tell you this new choice for alloy has led to incredible dissipation of heat under rough conditions, which has led to a lot better battery life. And I mean, that's the whole point of a Pro phone. Yes, I know it hasn't aged the best for some people, but it has aged pretty great for me. I think the biggest question left is if Apple will keep the same price points at a time when Samsung and others have responded to the memory shortages with significant price hikes. What color out of all of these would you pick in the comments? Because for me, it's the light blue so far. Now, before we get to the hottest news, let me tell you about today's sponsor, MediaTek. This is the third year where Motorola chooses Dimensity for its most beloved Razr, and I can see why. The first and second base Razr proved to be great in performance and endurance, and this 2026 Razr has only gotten better with the Dimensity 7450X and its advanced 4nm architecture. Seriously, this phone has got the looks, has the feel, and then all this is matched with snappy performance, reliable connectivity, and even better endurance on its slim form factor. It's clearly the reason Motorola continues to trust MediaTek year over year. Thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk Samsung foldables, as things just got a lot clearer and a little confusing at the same time, so just bear with me. Let's start with the naming situation because, yeah, it's a lot. So remember what I covered last time about the names changing on this year's foldables to resemble more of the Galaxy Note 10 series? Yeah, it seems the FCC just confirmed that we can take that to the bank. It's borderline official that the wider Galaxy will be the Z Fold 8, now with 2 cameras and everything else we've discussed in a smaller package, while the larger sibling that we've known since day one will now go Ultra. The only problem is that, like I said before, I wish it wasn't just a name change, but we have no way to confirm how Ultra this Fold will be. I mean, Samsung, if anything, has made photography synonymous with the name. It only makes sense for that, but we'll see. Now, a separate report makes things even more interesting. Apparently, dimensions are changing beyond what we discussed before, with the wider Galaxy Z Fold 8 actually getting a 30% thicker sheet of ultra-thin glass compared to the Z Fold 7, jumping from 45 micrometers to 60. That means a stronger, more durable inner display for day-to-day use, though possibly slightly more susceptible to random cracks when folding, according to the report, though don't quote me on that. We know companies are not just going to launch it like that. They'll always figure things out. Now, the Fold 8 Ultra, meanwhile, sticks with the same 45 micrometer glass as before. And yeah, I'm already wondering why, but wait, there's actually more. When it comes to the Flip, well, leaked screen protectors from Ice Universe are also showing us that iterating is the name of the game. The Z Flip 8 cover display looks pretty much identical to what we have with the Z Flip 7 so far, so don't expect fireworks in that department, but I do hear Snapdragon, so I will celebrate that. And then the good news tying all this together, Samsung has a Galaxy Unpacked event reportedly set for July 22nd, so we won't have to wait long for the full picture. In today's question, let me know, which Samsung foldable are you most interested in? The wide Z Fold 8, the Fold 8 Ultra, or the Flip 8? Because, listen, in my case, I'll pick any of these devices that supports the S Pen. I know, probably too much to ask at this time when there are zero rumors about it. I'm curious to know what you would like in the comments. Friends, thank you so much for joining on this new episode of Tech Briefing. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as I'm sure you've seen me try to respond to as many as I can. Also, follow me on social media as more behind-the-scenes work continues to happen there. My video for WWDC has also been live. Please catch me there, as I learned a lot more than what you saw at the keynote. Guys, by the way, Technically There podcast with Josh is returning later this week, so stay tuned. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.